wants to have more control over their mental health. You know, we've been through a lot over the last year or so, and you know, a lot of us have struggled with our mental health. That was a big issue. There's a lot of stress, so much negativity, so much darkness, so many bad things happening in the world. So how can we manage our mental health? How can we not be so stressed out? How can we be relaxed? How can we not be depressed and not be, you know, lacking energy and not willing to get up in the morning and trying so hard to, you know, get up and do something in life? How's it going, Nick and Hunter MC in yellow? What's up, guys? So this is what I'm about. I'm about helping you to activate your Qi. What's Qi? It's kind of like the force, kind of like the energy inside you. It's inside every one of us. It's inside the entire world. It's in nature. It's in the planets. It's in the stars. And for a long time, throughout history, people thought Qi was just a mystical and some kind of spiritual thing. But now we have technology. We have devices. We have machines that can measure how much Qi energy you have, or at least how much electromagnetic energy your body has. You can measure how much electrical conductance your skin has, so how much electricity can be conducted through your skin, especially through your acupressure points, because those points apparently have the most electrical conductance. That means that the electricity flows more easily through your acupuncture points. Isn't that interesting? And we just discovered that recently, whereas we had acupuncture for thousands of years, right? People used to make fun of acupuncture because you poke needles in your body, and they thought that was just the weirdest thing in order to improve your health. But it makes sense. Hey, Lexi, welcome. Hey, Ari. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because, you know, our bodies are all electrical, isn't it? Our bodies are not just chemical. Our bodies are electrical. Our brain operates with electrical signals and impulses. All your memories, all your thoughts, and all your experiences are electrical. Your entire nervous system is electrical. Okay? You know, if you shock yourself with electricity, your body will jitter or your body will shake. Like if you got stunned with a stun gun, your whole body would freeze. So your whole body is electrical. It's not just chemical. And we're finding now that it's not just electrical, but it's electromagnetic. It's electromagnetic. That means that that you also respond to magnetic waves, not just electric waves. Isn't that interesting? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Qi. Qi is actually electromagnetic energy. At least that's one part of it. It's the easiest way to understand Qi is something like a magnetic wave. So many people, they say, what is Qi? What is Qi? Is it some kind of like mysterious force like in Star Wars and Jedi? Only some people have it, some people don't. And you can use it to heal people. You can use it to like shoot electricity from your hands and things like that. Well, it's something like that. But then on one level, it's an electromagnetic energy. And where do we have electromagnetic energy? Where do we experience it the most? Well, it's from planet Earth. So if you didn't know, we have electromagnetic energy on Earth, in the magnetic field. And it actually has a frequency. Hey Leo, hey Brar, welcome. So it has a frequency. It's actually 7.83 hertz. By the way, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me on TikTok, or you can ask me on YouTube, or you can ask me Facebook, you can ask me on Zoom. Okay, so we're broadcasting live to all those places right now. If you have a question, go ahead, ask, and then I'm more than happy to answer it. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to go to the next step of our Qi energy meditation and Qi energy activation. So these are ancient secrets that were passed down through Taoists and many, martial artists who was able to use their meditation and increase the energy in their body, not just physical energy, but like internal energy in the body to a point that they could stay hot in sub-zero temperatures. So who's heard of Wim Hof? So Wim Hof is the guy who broke world records for swimming underwater in like sub-zero degrees. And he's been training many people. I've done the Wim Hof method. Who's done the Wim Hof method? Raise your hands. Okay, so I was able to stay in submersion, full submersion of the whole body in ice cold water, 0 degrees, for 2 minutes without shaking, just control breath and controlling my body temperature. So I trained about 3 to 6 months to get to that point, and then I kind of stopped and did other things. But what he proved was that our minds can actually control our bodies. Because most people, even if you take a cold shower, you can go in there like freeze like this. Or if you go into some kind of icy lake, you're gonna freeze, and in a matter of seconds, your whole body will go into shock. But he was able to, and I was able to train myself to the point where I was completely relaxed in sub-zero temperatures. So it's possible. Why? Because I can do it, and many people can do it. And why am I talking about this? Because one aspect of Qi is that you can start controlling your bodily functions. Usually your autonomic functions, like your heart rates, like your breath, and all the things that happen automatically, if you train to the point, you can actually control it. Okay, I was just watching the movie Lucy on Netflix. Who's watched that movie? Scarlett Johansson. Lucy, raise your hands. Hey, Tarek. I hate life as much as I love it because I have to fight every day. Well, the more you fight, the stronger you become, right? You don't get strong by not fighting. So if you become stronger by fighting. I mean, my life wasn't easy anyway either, but I just continued to fight, and eventually things get better. So in the movie Lucy, there's Morgan Freeman who was researching how the brain works, and he's saying that how humans only use up to like 10 or 15% of the brain, and they're saying how dolphins use a huge part of their brain as well. Opposite of like all the other animals on Earth, they only use about like 2 or 3% of their brain, whereas humans were able to develop their brains to a point that we use about 10% of our brains. And interestingly, dolphins are about the same level, which makes you think like, where do dolphins come from? How did they get so smart? And but then in the movie, Lucy basically takes this drug by accident, and then her brain unlocks and then starts to tap into 20% of her brain, and then 30%, and then 40%, and eventually 100% of her brain. And then basically what Morgan Freeman says in that movie is that at 10%, we're normal. At 20%, we start to unlock and control our autonomic systems. So like our heart rate, like our breath rate, like all the things that are happening inside our body, how our brain works, we can start to consciously control those things, okay? Which actually what we can do through meditation. And if you go beyond that, then you can start to control thoughts and things in other people. And if you get even higher, like tap into your brain more, you can start to control matter. You can start to control energy that's outside of your body. And it keeps going, and basically the more that you can unlock in your brain, the more you become a superhuman. And this is actually not new. Like now we watch these movies like Avengers, and we watch like all these like superhero movies or whatever superhero things with the psychic powers and stuff like that. That's nothing new. It's been around forever, since history. And there have been many people in Taoism, or even like ancient Hindu texts, the Bible, lots of different cultures and histories where humans, or just these people, have godly abilities, who were able to ascend to heaven, or basically travel to other planes of existence, higher levels of existence, and come back at will, or teleport into different places, or use their consciousness and teleport to other places on the planet. So a lot of this is possible. Hey, Draco. Yeah, welcome. So continue to do the Wing Chun training. All right, you got me. Good. Hey, Brianna. Nice to meet you. All right, so all these things work together. It's like, okay, I don't care about psychic ability. I don't care about being a superhero. I just want to have a better mental health. I just don't want to be so stressed, and I want to heal myself, or I want to have better wellness, or I want more energy. I want to be able to achieve more in my life, or get a better job, or attract a soulmate. Who wants those things? Raise your hand. Yeah. So let me tell you, my story is that I was chronically ill for 10 years. And every day I was in pain. It was an incurable digestive disease. I think a lot of us have it. A lot of guys who work out a lot and take a lot of supplements have some serious digestive problems. And it's probably because of all the supplements and stuff they take that are all chemical based. And then even though they say they're organic, they still screw up your body. So that's what happened to me. And then there was no cure. I was taking medication. It didn't do anything. It just gave me more side effects and more skin issues, which I never had before. But I think there's a lot of guys out there, even girls, who take a lot of this junk that is out there and then screw up their digestive system or screw up their skin or screw up their bodies. And they're too embarrassed to admit it because they just want to show off how big their muscles are, and they have to keep taking this stuff to keep their muscles big. But then inside, all the organs are screwed up, all their hormones are screwed up, all their internal processes and then is all messed up. And then they're too ashamed or too embarrassed to admit it to even go to see a doctor. And then even they go to see a doctor, what happens is they just prescribe you more pills and more medication. So good, you don't take supplements, great, yeah, do it natural. So, but a lot of people do. And what happens is it screws up your digestive system. And then there's no cure for that. So, but I was able to cure myself and heal myself using the technology that I basically developed. And in 90 days, I was able to heal myself. So what does that mean? I mean, it opened my eyes and I thought, you know what, this Qi energy is real. I was able to heal myself from this disease that had no cure, no medical cure for this disease. I was able to heal myself. And then people were amazed, like, what? How is that possible? But I did. So if you're saying that, okay, my life, I'm not where I want to be, or I hate my life, or I feel depressed or whatever, just don't give up. Eventually you'll find a way. Eventually it'll be better. But let me tell you, if you want to shortcut that path, if you want to get to where you want to faster, then use Qi, use the Qi. Because without Qi, you won't be able to have the energy to heal your own body. You won't be able to have the energy to get into those mental states because there's so much suppression. There's so much negative energy in this world, that is affecting us every day. We got negative news, we got negative frequencies coming from 5G, from wireless internet. We have a lot of negative, bad frequency food that cause us to be sick and cause us to have a lot of health issues. So how can we counteract and how can we combat all this negative energy? Well, you gotta have some kind of positive energy to build yourself with or affect your body or energize yourself with. If you don't have some way of controlling your own energy in the body, then you're just basically a victim or become a victim of all the negative energies in the world. So if you do anything in your life, try to find a way to raise your own energy in your life that helps you to heal yourself without having to rely on pills or supplements. Hey Nicholas, thanks for following. All right, so let's get on with some of the practice today. Okay, so last week we talked about how to start your meditation. First is relaxation, second is breath work, and then third is energy activation. And then I'm going to show you some, and then another one that we didn't do is called mind taming. So let's start with relaxation. Okay, so relaxation is not sleeping, it's basically just relaxing your body. And then when your body relaxes, your mind relaxes too. So if you're just sitting somewhere, see if you can put your feet flat on the ground in front of you. See if you can, sit up straight. You can, sit back, lean against the back of your chair. Put your hands even. The key is you want to be aligned upright. Hey, Dwizzle, I'm fat. How do I get skinny? There's lots of ways to get skinny. Diet has a lot to do with it. It depends what you eat, how much exercise you do. A lot of it has to do with genetics too. But you can do also a lot of this energy activation, so it increases your metabolism. So when you do this energy meditation I'm going to show you, your metabolism, your heart rate goes up, and actually you naturally burn fat more, and you actually don't need to eat as much. You have less cravings as well. Okay, so that can probably help you lose weight. Okay, so relax. So as long as you are straight up, you're aligned, that helps you to balance your energy. Okay, and when you're looking at something, you're looking at a phone, try to kind of look slightly downwards like this. And then one way to relax is just, first of all, just to shake your hands, because we use your phones, we use your keyboards and mouse all day long, so our hands get really rigid. So shake your hands. If you're holding your phone, just shake one hand at a time, or put the phone down and shake your hands like this. Okay, and shake your hands, then brush your hands, brush your forearms like this, or brush your arms and brush your hands like this. Imagine you got a lot of lint on your arm or your hand, and you're brushing off the lint like this. So you brush it off. Brush off the back of your hand. Okay? There's one way you can loosen up and basically align all the magnetic energy in your limbs. Okay? Now you're brushing that. Now I want you to brush your head backwards. Same thing, just imagine you're just aligning, brushing the energy backwards like this. You can brush your cheek, your ear, brush the back of your head. Okay, brush the side of your neck. Brush the side of your neck. Okay, really, like, imagine you got lint all over and you're just brushing it down. Brush down your throat. Brush down your chest. Okay, doesn't it feel good? It feels like kind of like a massage. Brush down your armpit. This is good for your lymph nodes. So we have a lot of like toxins stuck in our armpits. So do this and brush down like this. Hey, 1X baby, welcome. So brush the side of your body. You know, you brush the back, brush your back. You probably can't reach the whole back, so just brush as much as you can. Brush the back, and then if you can, brush your legs, so you can see if you have your legs here. Brush your legs like this. Brush your legs underneath too. So the side, you brush the legs. Brush your knees. Brush your shin, like that. Do the other one. Brush your leg. Brush your knee, and then your shin, and then also brush your feet. How you do to brush your feet? You can't see your breathing. You go brush like this. Brush under and on top of your feet. You don't have to hold it like this, but I just need to show you on the camera. It looks funny, but so you're brushing. Okay, so your whole body is brushing. Okay, do a little bit more. If you feel tension or any kind of discomfort anywhere, brush some more of that part. Okay, and then shake some more. Okay, so that helps you relax. You guys feel more relaxed? Guys feel more relaxed? Say yes. You're probably busy brushing. Okay, so that's one way to relax. And now the second part is breath work. So what we want to do is to tame our mind. So you want to put your hands on your belly button like this. Hey, we got what you need. Welcome. So hold your hands on your belly button. So let's say belly button right here. You know, put the middle of your palms over the top of your belly button. Left hand first, right hand second. If you're female, right hand, then left hand. If you're male, left hand, then right hand. Okay? So just hold it there. And then just focus your awareness onto that part of your body. And just breathe in and out. And as you're breathing, you want to feel your belly going up and down. So belly comes up. Just breathe in, belly goes down. And when you're breathing, try to see if you can make, you want to kind of stretch out the breath. So you breathe in, just imagine you have a really tiny straw that you're breathing through. So when you're breathing in, you can only breathe in a little at, very little amounts at a time. So you extend your breath longer. So breathe in. Breathe out. You do it through your nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. So what you're trying to do is actually extend your breath and slow down your breath rate. And when you slow down your breath rate, your heart rate actually slows down also. And if you notice, you become more relaxed and your mind calms down. So what we're moving towards is we want to be able to do this to a point where we're able to tame our minds. And one thing that we want to achieve is to have no internal dialogue. You know, sometimes when you close your eyes, all this voice starts talking, all these thoughts start happening. You think about this, you think about that. And then we start talking to ourselves, or you hear voices or somebody talking in your mind. So that's called a monkey mind. And what we want to do is to quiet that mind. And some easy ways to do this is to use some of our meditation frequencies. So I'm going to play one thing for you. It's called one of our DMT frequencies. So just listen to this. And then what you want to do is just watch your breath. So as you breathe in, you're watching the breath going into your nose. And then as you're breathing out, you're watching it coming out. Just imagine there's these very thin strands of white energy as you're breathing in. So just listen to the sound and breathe, and just watch your breath. So the more you are calm and the more you tame your mind, then the less thoughts and the less dialogue happens in your mind. Okay, and then you want to be able to extend the time between your thoughts. So maybe you can only go without thoughts for 5 seconds, or you can only do it for 10 seconds. Eventually you want to be able to do up to 3 minutes without any thoughts. Alright, so I let you practice this on your own time, but I would do this probably at least 10 minutes a day, and this really helps you to relax your mind and helps you to overcome a lot of any emotional issues. Is learning to tame your mind so that you're not controlled by your thoughts, and rather you are in control of your mind. You're in control of how clear your mind is without having to rely on anything else. So frequency has a lot to do with it. You're listening right now to a frequency. Is when you're listening to it, and it's actually tuning your mind to this frequency so that it helps you meditate, and it helps you to get into that state much faster and much easier. It helps to actually drown out your thoughts. And if you do this regularly, you'll be able to have no thoughts in your mind. All right, so the next part is something called energy activation. Okay, so after you do the mind taming, the breath work, now it's time to activate the energy centers. So one main energy center that we want to activate is our dantian, so which is our belly button. So basically, it's about an inch behind our belly button. Okay, so one way to do it is to use your hand and then start making circles around that part. So first, we're going to mechanically, or just with our hands, to rub our bellies. Okay, put some pressure into it. Rub it one direction in little circles, and then go the other direction in little circles. In the other direction, and then start to tap it with our hands. Okay, so now we want to breathe with it. So just like before, we're going to breathe with our tummies. So when we breathe in, it expands. But as it expands, we're going to press down on it with our hands and then let go. So breathe in, expand, and then at the same time press down with our hand and let go. So we're kind of like working out our breathing mechanism here. So press in, breathe in. So you can see this sideways. So I'm breathing in, my belly gets big. Breathing out, belly gets small. Breathe in, belly gets big. So as the belly gets big, I'm going to press in with my hand. Okay, so breathe in, and then press in, and then relax. Breathe out. Breathe in, press in, breathe out, relax. Breathe in, press in, breathe out, relax. Breathe in, press in, breathe out, relax. So you're using your hands kind of like a resistance to kind of like strengthen your dantian. So your dantian is the energy center. Okay, so do this. Breathe out. Breathe in, press in, breathe out. Breathe in, press in, breathe out. Okay, so if you want to raise your energy, what you would do is slowly increase the speed. So you would or breathe through your mouth and do it forcefully. So it's going to be like so your belly is going boom, boom, like this. Belly's going big, small, big, relax, big, relax. Okay? So keep doing that. So these are forceful breaths. Okay, and then you probably feel hotter now. Who feels hotter? Who feels like they have their heart rate's going up a little bit? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, so I feel a little hotter too. So that's one way of activating your dantian center. What you're doing is kind of like focusing your energy and focusing your qi into that area. And by physically putting your hands there, you put your awareness there, and you're also using your external muscles to concentrate your awareness in that area. Okay, so now the second part is to actually activate your center without using any physical energy. So we're going to do it by just using our imagination. So remember last week we used the sponging method. So sponging method is we imagining that our body is a sponge, just like a sponge that absorbs the water. We're going to absorb the energy like a sponge and then let it flow through and then let it come back in. So just imagine your whole torso here, your whole torso is a big giant sponge, okay? And then you're gonna use your hand to kind of guide that energy. So imagine this whole, everything here is sponge. All around, it's a belt of spongy material. So you're gonna lift your hand. As you lift your hand, imagine that you're soaking up all this water or all this liquid energy through the entire trunk of your belly. So soak it up as you breathe in, up to here, right below your chest, your ribs, and then when you relax, breathe out. Imagine that energy just drain down to about here. Okay, so we're gonna do it consecutively. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and make sure that you're not just breathing up here. We're breathing through the entire trunk of your body. So it includes the back, includes the side, includes the front, and everything in between. So the whole thing is a sponge, and you want to fill up that sponge and then drain the sponge. Fill up the sponge and drain the sponge. Fill up and drain. Maybe do it too fast. So do it slower. If you're not feeling anything, just try to slow it down. So the slower you go, the better your imagination and the senses become. Okay, and next we're going to now that you can feel it going up and down, who can feel some kind of like electrical fuzzy sensation in their tummies? Who can feel that? So if you can feel it, that's good. If you can't, that's fine. Eventually you will. And now you want to just use your hands to brush. Okay, so imagine your hands, you have these invisible feathers or paint brushes on your hands, and you're brushing that energy center. So imagine there's a little ball in your dantian behind your belly button. So I'm using my invisible brushes and just brushing the ball. Okay, so just use the imagination. So imagine you're brushing it in all directions. I mean, all angles, like all around it, from behind it, from the side, in front of it. So all this, your paint brushes, so to speak, are like tickling your dantian from the inside. So some of you may feel a little bit cooling sensation behind your belly button, or heat, some kind of numb energy, some kind of buzzing sensation. So that's good if you do. Okay, so those are the sponging and the brushing exercises. Any questions? So we're using it to activate our dantian, which is called the C of Qi, S-A-E, I mean S-E-A, S-E-A, like the C of Qi. So it's the battery where we store our Qi energy. And when we activate it, we're activating like the circuits in your motherboard, or the circuits in your machine. Your body is like a machine, right? So when you activate it, now you can start to unlock a lot of the meridians in your body, and that's like the energy source. So if you don't have a strong energy source, then you can't really do anything else with your body or with your energy. So that's why this is so important, is to activate your Qi energy center. Okay, and this is something you can do as many times as you want, as long as you want. It's very healthy. It's not something that if you do too much, it will make you tired or make you decrease your energy. This is actually, the more you do, the more your energy will increase. Your dog won't leave you alone, Paige. You got activated. Yeah, so dogs can sense energy, and when they sense positive energy, they're gonna want to come around you. If you sense negative energy, they usually leave, go to another room. So if you find that animals are attracted to you, like for example, sometimes I go for a walk in nature, and then birds will come fly close to me, and like they're more interested in me than usual for some reason, or bees will start to get attracted to me, or like butterflies, or like dragonflies. They, like when I'm in a really good positive frequency, or when I'm using the Qi Coil when I go out, I find that insects, animals, they tend to come closer to me. They tend to be more interested in me. They're curious. It's like maybe they sense some kind of energy they're not sensing usually. Yeah, so Justin, you feel that too, right? Hey, Zuli. Doing this last exercise, I can play the Qi Energy Booster frequency. Thanks in advance. Yeah, if you didn't, I didn't actually show you, but that's it. I'm actually using the recharge. We changed the names to make them more easy to understand. This used to be Qi Energy Activation. Why don't we just call it recharge? So I'm playing it with my Qi Coil right now. Okay, so if you're kind of confused about all these exercises, it's very simple, right? It's just very intuitive if you understand how it works, right? First, we relax our body, and then we relax our mind. And then once we do that, then we want to raise the energy using our breath and using, massage, using physical activation, like hitting it. So you want to energize those, activate those energy centers. Okay, using our minds to feel what's happening inside. So you're using electromagnetic energy to activate whatever is happening inside your body. So does that make sense more? And then what we're leading towards is we're leading towards being able to move that energy up the energy centers. So we start low here, but eventually we want to move it up to the solar plexus and the heart, and then the throat, and then the third eye and the crown chakras. Okay? And that's when you can start to activate some of the supernatural abilities that you can develop. But before you can do that, you need to build up that engine. You don't have the engine driving that energy up, then the energy will never get into those higher chakras and never get into those higher energy centers. Okay? And the relaxation, the breath work, the mind taming is a prerequisite. Okay? Unless you can get into those very calm mental and brainwave states through the mind taming, using the frequency makes it a lot easier, then you won't be able to activate those energy centers as well. You have to be able to shift your mind into those calm, into those alpha brainwave states. Hey Diana, deep appreciation for offerings are all recorded. Yes, these are recorded, and they are going to be sent out on Saturday, I believe, so you can watch the recording. And this is actually recorded live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can probably just check out our Facebook to watch this again. Hey Sibo says, absolutely, hummingbird 3 inches away from my third eye, buzzing its wing, looking down at me. What a trip. Wow, that's amazing. 3 inches away, that close. That's very close. Yeah, so yeah, animals definitely sense the energy. And I think, with technology and a lot of the way that we work nowadays, it's made us leave nature, or made us disconnected from nature. And a lot of our um, health can improve mentally and physically if we just connect to nature, just go outdoors more. It's just so simple, and just breathe. Breathing is such a good thing to do. So, um, and then be able to do these meditations like today, and then pretty much every day I go out and do my Qi Gong exercises and breathing, and it's just a completely different experience than if you just, you know, do it at home. It's just so much better when you're out in nature. Justin says the alpha theta border. The alpha theta border around 7 to 8 hertz is recognized as the zone or the state of flow. This is the border between conscious and the subconscious mind. In our sports performance, we start out with beta, but very quickly to move to alpha and eventually theta. According to sports scientists, increased alpha brainwaves precede peak performance. When you are in intense creativity, you are having a mystical theta burst where you engage in deep dialogue with your divine mind. You're surprised by your performance. Yeah, exactly. So basically, when you start learning a sport, like for example, martial arts, you're learning a technique, you're learning some kind of technique, right? You have to consciously think about it. But eventually, when you practice enough, you don't have to think about it and you're doing the technique. And then eventually, you're doing the technique before you even think about it. So that's the concept of getting into that alpha theta border mind between the conscious and subconscious. Is that your body automatically does it without even knowing. You're not even conscious of it. That's what Bruce Lee said, right? Um, you know, he's, he respect, or he is fears the man who, or a woman who practices one punch 10,000 times rather than 10,000 different punches only once. Because when you practice something once so many times, it becomes a part of your subconscious and you can execute it subconsciously. Hey Dimitri, me too. Dragonflies, yeah, cool. So yeah, thanks Justin for that. Um, so when you're doing these meditations, you're actually practicing tapping into that alpha theta state, and when you can get into those states, that's when you can achieve your highest human potential. Even like Tyler said, Justin said, sports scientists show that you get the peak performance when you are in that brain zone. Okay, and it's through practice and it's through training your mind. So if you want to be, it applies to many things, not just sports, right? It applies to many things in life as well, even in your business or in your relationships. Sometimes we're so stressed out, just like in fighting, in martial arts, right? Let's say you're boxing or you're doing some sparring or you're doing some kind of competition. It's a lot of stress because you have a lot of things, you have a lot of punches coming at you, you got to dodge them, you get hit, and your brain is going, you don't have time to think, right? There's no thinking. You have to get into alpha state. Otherwise, you're going to lose and you're going to freak out and you're going to basically get knocked out. Or even in a relationship, right? Let's say you're having some friction with somebody, or you're having some problems with your job or problems with your business. Those are like punches that get thrown at you. And then those times, unless you get into an alpha state, you're going to start just reacting to them, right? You start reacting, and a lot of times you make mistakes and it stresses you out. And then a lot of times you do the wrong thing, or you do something that's not effective, or you just run around in circles. But you see how I like combine, things from martial arts and things into business or into life, is because it's the same, right? We all get thrown punches at us. We all have people or the world attacking us, throwing a kick, throwing a punch, doing this and that. And unless you can train yourself to the point where you can deal with these things effectively using a technique in martial arts, or using even a technique in life, right? A mind technique or some kind of a meditation technique, and then just relax and calm yourself, then you can start to tap into your true potential. And you'll be surprised how many of these challenges that you face will become so easy, and how you'll be able to turn them into positive, into the negative, right? Because we have a lot of negative. We may experience a lot of negative emotions, but we can actually change our negative emotions into positive ones if you practice, okay? Like, let's say I'm stressed out. What did I do? Well, first of all, I know what I'm stressed out about. First of all, think about that. What is really stressing you out? What specifically is it? And you ask yourself, is this something you can control or something you can't control? And most of the times, it's not something you can control. If you can't control it, then you just say, it's out of my control. I don't need to stress out about this. Okay, and that takes care of it. But if it is something I can control, then I channel that stress energy, and then I make a plan, and then I execute the plan to make, to change what I can and do what I can. And then now that stress energy is turned into something positive. Okay, so that's one way of turning negative energy into something positive. Let's say you feel anxious. Let's say you have anxiety. You're worrying about something. Well, ask yourself, what is it you're worried about? Okay, and when you can really pinpoint exactly what is it you're worried about, maybe it's something that happened, that might happen, that you're scared of happening. So it's fear, right? So identify that emotion it is, and then if it's fear, it's doubt, worry, then identify it, and then ask yourself once again, is it something you can control or something you can't control? And if you can't control it, just learn to let go, and then just move on and do something positive, right? Go out and go for a walk, do some breathing exercises, put on some boxing gloves and punch a bag, or do some training, or do some martial arts, or walk your dog, or do some dancing or something like that, right? Turn it into something positive. And again, if it's anxiety and you feel like it's something that you can control, it's something you worry about, it's something you can do about it, then make a plan and do something about it. But don't just sit there and just keep feeling anxious, or just keep feeling depressed, or just keep feeling sad or stressed out. And the better you can get at it, at this process of turning your negative into positive emotions, then the faster you can do it. Okay, so let's say that you feel stressed out, but then the process and the cycle of getting out of that takes you a day or 2 days. Well, analyze what happened in that process, right? What did you do? What were you thinking? What did you physically do? What did you say in order to get from stressed out to not stressed out? And then see if you can shorten that time to 1 day, and shorten that time further and further, and find out how you can shorten that time to an hour. And eventually you can say, if you're stressed out, you get into a habit of say, okay, now I know you know what to do, and it becomes a habit. It's okay, I'm stressed out. So, like I said, I go through a mental process. I say, is this something I can control or cannot control? That's the first thing I ask. If I can't control it, then I say, okay, what can I do about it to not feel stressed out? And then number one thing is say, okay, is there somebody I can talk to not feel stressed out? So I talk to somebody. Obviously, I'm also, what is there a frequency I can use? And definitely I play the remove negative energy frequency, the de-stress frequency, and that usually takes care of it right away. So I think about what I need to do. Is this one here. It's called de-stress, but it used to be called remove negative energy. It's the same thing. We just changed it, so you can see both remove negative energy and de-stress on it. So just play the frequency. You can play it with a Qi Coil, play it with the sound, and just meditate with that. And a lot of times I say, well, I don't feel as stressed out anymore. I feel more positive. So you start to develop a habit where you can overcome your negative emotions, because it's these negative emotions that really keep us from moving forward. It keeps us stuck, right? It keeps us stuck where we currently are, or where we keeps us from going to where we should be going and becoming more of what you're supposed to be, more of what we can be. Hey, just another story. A story about a old Cherokee who was teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, the Cherokee said to the boy. It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, and greed. Arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, and superiority. He continued, the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? The old Cherokee simply replied, the one you feed. Right, exactly. Yeah, so don't feed those negative emotions. A lot of times we get into negative spirals because it's become a vicious cycle because we feel, depressed, then we don't do anything and we just keep thinking about, why we're depressed. Especially use the question, why question, right? The why question, WHY question, tends to keep us stuck because why is an emotional question, whereas what is a logical or non-emotional question, right? Usually when you ask why something happens, it triggers emotions in your response. But when you ask what, it triggers the information before the emotion. So in my course, in my transformation course, that's one key thing. And it's one key thing that I changed myself a while ago is to stop asking why, because it just loads the emotion before it loads the information. And when you load the emotion, if you're already in a negative emotion, it will load more in negative emotions. So to get out of that, one simple thing you can do is to just ask what, right? So what's working, what's not working, what to do differently. Okay, actually the first question is who. So who is responsible, or who is going to change, or who needs to do something? And usually it's you or me, right? You can say, or usually yourself. Then you ask what is working. So it helps you to program your mind to think about what's positive about your situation, like what is working. And then it forces you to think about what's positive, what is working. Then the next question is what is not working. So you can identify specifically what it is that needs to change or what's not working. And then you ask what to do differently. Then you figure out what you can change, what you can do. And it specifically is do, right? It's an action. So it's not a feeling. Because when you do the action will change the feeling. Okay? So a lot of people, they start at the feeling. They want to feel better before they do something. Well, sometimes people don't feel better ever. They feel shitty for like endlessly. So how can they do something positive? So what do? Why not do something and then eventually feel good about it, right? Just like when you, people that want to get in shape, for example, and they don't feel like working out. Well, just go and work out, and then afterwards you'll feel a lot better. Why? Because you release the endorphins in your body, you release the chemicals, you increase your heart rate, your blood circulation, and everything's working much better. You smooth out all the gears in your body, and you feel better. And then now the chances of you doing that exercise again will be higher because you took action and you did something. Okay, so remember those 4 questions. Don't ask why, you ask who, what again, and then what. So what, who, and then 3 whats. And what are the whats? What's not working, what's working, and what to do differently. And when you can ask those questions in that order, then you can basically reprogram yourself to get out of any kind of stuck situation you're in just by doing that. Okay? Yeah, you're welcome. So, hey Liz, welcome again. Hey, control to get you stressed out. Hey, Mihai, how you doing? Hey, Rock Pit Knowledge. Sometimes people know what buttons to push and try to make you lose. Yes, that's true. Yeah, when you're in a competitive situation, just like in a fight, whether it's a real fight or a competitive fight, like a sports, it's going to be stressful. How do you get unstressful? You just need to train a lot. You just need to train your mind and train your body. You can't expect, like I was in in kind of like a hold up situation. Luckily the gun was fake, but then at that time, a guy pulled like a gun this big and tried to rob me, and you don't have time to think, and you don't have time to train at that time. You have to have training before that, so that when that situation comes and when that stress comes to you, you know what to do. And at that time, I wasn't scared because I was trained for self-defense. I was trained for this stuff, right? So I wasn't scared. I started talking and started moving closer to him, trying to basically to show that I'm not going to, I'm not just going to put my hands up and then like, let him steal all my stuff. And then, but he ran, I couldn't catch him. So that didn't work very well. But basically, at least my mind was trained that I wasn't scared. And that at least my body was trained that I was going to, I kept moving forward, even though there was a obstacle, there was someone threatening my life, that I wasn't going to run. I was ready to fight. So what was different, I didn't fight. Luckily that gun wasn't real and then he didn't shoot me. But I was analyzing what happened. It was that, well, how come I didn't get scared? How come I didn't run away or trying to freak out? And I was actually pretty focused and I was actually, moving forward, approaching the guy. My mind was ready to fight and he felt it. So that's why he ran. So it's from training. I had to train that scenario many, many times. Marvin says, but sometimes people know what buttons to try. Yeah, lose control and get you stressed out. Yeah, so some people are really good at stressing you out. Some people, they get a kick out of stressing people out. But, what I would do is I would just avoid them as much as possible and try to find people that don't do that and actually motivate you and actually support you and encourage you. That's why we have this community and that's why we have these webinars, so that you can meet other people like this that support you. But yeah, I agree. There's other people that like to stress people out and they want to cause problems and they want to cause stress in people's lives. So what do you do about that? Well, like I said, you don't have to practice martial arts, but if you do, what you start training your mind and body to do is how to deal with incoming threats, how to deal with people who are trying to stress you out, trying to punch you, trying to give you negative energy, right? You learn how to in martial arts, there's basically 3 things you can do, okay? If there's a force coming, you can overpower with your own force. You can fight fire with fire, okay? Does it work in martial arts? Yes. Does it work in life against somebody who is very aggressive? Maybe, but then you end up like blowing the situation maybe out of control. It may work, it may not. And then when that happens, you don't make a friend, you make an enemy, right? Okay, so that's one way. The second way, but sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have no choice when somebody pushes you too far, right? So number 2, another way to deal with an incoming force is to redirect the force and move it aside so that you're using his force against the person. Okay, that's the number 1 way, is to basically blend with the energy. And then in Tai Chi, we do a lot of that, right? We do a lot of blending motions. So incoming force, we blend with it, and then we use it, and then we give it back to the guy. Okay, so that's a higher level art, and you need to train to do that. So how about in a confrontation? Somebody attacks you. Well, see if you can blend with the person. So say, okay, understand what you're doing, understand how you feel. How can I help you to feel better? Or how can I help you? Or what do you need me to do to help you to feel better? Or is there anything I can do or say to make you back off, right? Or make you to calm down. Okay, so that's one way. Those are techniques, verbal techniques you can use to help somebody calm down, or to blend with their energy and try to guide them to somewhere else that you wanted to guide them. Are you guys following me? Okay. The third way is to dissolve it. So number 1, remember, is fight force with force. Number 2 is to force coming, you push it, or you redirect it to somewhere else. Another way is to basically dissolve the force. Well, basically, dissolve the force. You can't really show this, but I'm basically dissolving the force of this punch right now. And it looks like I'm just pushing against the punch, but I'm actually dissolving the punch. It's kind of like, how do I explain? If I had a balloon, that would help explain. Okay, just imagine there's a balloon, right? So when you punch the balloon, what happens? It just bounces back. Or when we punch the balloon in the water, it just goes in the water and then it bounces back. Okay, so that's kind of what you do. It's basically you become like a balloon, and you just absorb it, and then that energy just gets like rebounded, just like rubber. Yeah. So like, it's harder to kind of demonstrate, but that's the third way of dealing with incoming force in martial arts, in like fighting. So how do you do that in a confrontation, right? Basically, you're able to take whatever the person's saying and then being able to dissolve it or disarm whatever that person is saying, so that no matter what this person throwing at you, you're able to say something, do something, or react in a way that dissolves his force. Does that make sense? It's kind of like the Jedi mind trick, right? There are no droids here. So you basically you're able to change the person's mind so that the original intent, his aggressiveness, his or her aggressiveness, yeah, there is no spoon, and and the person's intent and negative intent is dissolved, and it doesn't exist anymore. And then the more it pushes, the person just wastes his energy and wastes his attack. It's like he's trying to punch an air balloon. Okay, so that's the third way. It's a higher level art, but I think once you can get to that level, then you're able to really make a difference, right? Because the first way, you're just fighting force with force. Can you make friends with the person after? No, right? If it's somebody that you care about, let's say it's your wife or your spouse or your husband or boyfriend, if you just keep doing number one, just trying to fight force with force, eventually both of you will be bruised, and both of you will have bruises all over your face or over your body, or bruises all over your emotional heart, right? So that's one way of trying to overcome force with force. Not very good when it's with somebody that you care about. Okay, so how about another way? Try to redirect the force. Well, now that's better. At least you're redirecting the energy. But the third way is the highest level of art, I would say so, is to actually dissolve everything and then be able to absorb it, and then being able to offer something better in return. It's like it's kind of like turning the other cheek, but I wouldn't say turning the other cheek, but turning something negative into positive. You don't have to. It's not really like turning the other cheek. It's more like turning a negative into positive, turning a negative situation or negative confrontation into something positive. And the neat thing is that now, if it's an enemy, this enemy can become your friend. This enemy can become somebody that can be part of your team, somebody that you can help, or somebody that can help you. So if the world can stop fighting in that way and start to kind of blend each other's energy or absorb each other's energy, we'll have a lot less confrontation and a lot less violence, and a lot less problems in the world. Hey, Mihai. Thanks for following. Justin said, that works mental attacks, also not only physical. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, right? All the martial arts physical techniques can be transferred into mental attacks or psychological attacks from people, or verbal attacks from people. There's ways to use the same principle and then apply it into those different areas of life. Okay, any more questions? So now it's time for some questions. Okay, so actually, let me look up my website. It has some people ask some questions there. I'm going to answer that. Let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, we are launching our new technology, and you want to check it out. Let's go to this website. Go to backqicoil.com. Go to backqicoil.com and join the wait list for the new technology that we're releasing. And we're releasing it next week. So you have 7 days to get ready for this. So make sure you get on that list. And whoever's on the list gets priority access. We're only going to have a limited quantity of the new technology we're releasing. So go to backqicoil.com QICOIL.com to get signed up for it. Okay, so it's SMS. We're going to send you an SMS message. Don't worry, we're not going to like send you a 1,000 messages. It's only one message, at most once a week. That's it. Okay, so and you can unsubscribe anytime. So go to backqicoil.com and get signed up if you haven't already, and get ready for the launch next week. I'm super excited. We got our the most powerful or biggest Qi Coil technology ever. We're releasing in 7 days, so don't miss it. Okay, go to Back Qi Coil. Also, if you're looking for a Qi Coil system, or you want to buy one for a friend, we are almost out of our Qi Coil 2s. So once these sell out, there won't be any more. Right now, they are 20% off. So you can get them from the site. You get both yin, so you get 2 of these. So the yin and the yang, so counterclockwise and clockwise. You get the Qi Coil mobile power kit. You get the starter frequency pack. So 20% off until supplies. Once they're sold out, they're sold out. You can't get any more. Okay, we only have a few sets left, and they're selling very quickly. So make sure you grab it on our store, qilifestore.com. Okay. Paige says, have been using my Qi Coil all week, and a friend who is an experienced healer noticed how clear my energy was. She said it was amazing. I have worked my way to be able to listen to a couple of hours a day, and I'm really feeling the difference. That's great, Paige. You know what? If you can like give us like a video review, that'll be awesome. We're getting a lot of video reviews on, or just do a TikTok and just do a TikTok video, saying that. That'll really help us out. Right now, there's still a lot of people that haven't heard about Qi Coils. Like I said, our goal as a community is to have 9,000 people use our Qi Coils, and we're getting there. But we need your help to tell more people about it. So 9,000 is because once we hit 9,000, that's going to cause a chain reaction in the planet Earth and be able to raise a lot of people's, the entire world's energy. We want to heal the world faster. That's our goal. Okay, the world has got a lot of healing to do right now. In many ways, our environment needs to heal. Disease. We need to raise the energy, raise the frequency of every person on the planet, so that we can have the immune and have the strength to combat the viruses. That's the best way. If everybody's immune system was stronger, then we wouldn't be so susceptible to the virus in the first place. That's why babies or young children do not have any symptoms of coronavirus, because their immune systems are so strong. So if we can just increase our immune system, then we wouldn't be so susceptible to the virus problem right now. Hey Tony, welcome. Thanks for that video. That's awesome. William, I didn't see you guys when I first came in. Hey Kenneth. Hey Greg. Hey Bridget. Okay. Is there another question? Oh yeah. So backqicoil.com. Sign up for the new Qi Coils coming out. 20% off the Qi Coil 2s until supplies last. And what else was there? Oh yeah, and then the TikTok. We, as you can see, we're more active on TikTok now. So if you have a TikTok account, just make a TikTok video, and then you can like put Qi Coil on a hashtag, and then we'll find you. And what we want to do is we want to build this community of 9,000. We need more people to help. We need help to kind of build this community. I'm so busy with so many different parts of the company. It's hard for me to take time to do everything. So we need more people helping out, spreading the word, being more active in the community, taking the leadership, taking more leadership, and then helping and answering questions in the groups and so on. So, or if you have an idea of how you can help Qi Life and how you can help me, please message me. I'm on Facebook. You can find me. You can just send me a Facebook message. I'm on Instagram. You can send me a direct message on Instagram, or you can send me a message on TikTok, and then I'll be more than happy to hear what you have in mind. Justin has a question. Hey David, some more tutorial videos with the staff of Legends. I've been planning to do it. I've just been so busy. But here's the staff. So once you've started meditating with it for some time, get comfortable with it, the next thing to do is to get a frequency generator. And you're probably wondering what these bolts are for, right? So these are to clip on the frequency generator. And soon I'm gonna make a video to show you how you can connect frequency generator and broadcast the frequencies throughout your home or throughout any place. So you want to raise the energy of any place. Let's say you want to raise the energy in a part of the city or part of the town. You just need to put this in the ground, plug in the frequency generator, and you just leave it there. And then it will improve the frequency in that area, improve the energy. Same thing. This tends to kind of work a little bit differently from the Qi coils. This operates in a kind of higher frequency, whereas the Qi coils is more in the body energy, body frequencies. That's more for like the higher energy, higher frequencies, like the astral body frequencies. So, but just please be patient. I'll get to that soon. Maybe you can create a Qi Coil buddy program. What's a Qi Coil buddy program? What do you mean by that? I think those who are already using the programs to help those who are not as familiar. Okay. So how can we do that? It's going to be on Facebook, or you know what we need? We need more tutorials, right? Like there's a lot of people that even though we have some tutorial videos, they may have a question that haven't been answered. I think some people, maybe I can post a whole bunch of questions that people are asking, and then people using Qi coils can answer them with a video or answer them with a post or something. Let me start working on that. So give you guys like a place where you can just create your own videos and then help the people that are asking questions about the Qi coils or frequencies. And then that will help us a lot, because that'll take a lot of weight off my shoulders to create the content. Okay, so recently people say they have neck pain and back pain. They're looking for, they're feeling tired and not getting enough sleep. I have a Qi coil just after extra frequencies. They need a spiritual change, more grounding, guidance in their journey. Anxiety. Needing clarity. Okay, so a lot of people have those questions. Yeah, so I think that would be a great idea. Thanks, Paige. Like maybe we can create more interaction where people can ask questions and share what they're dealing with and challenges they have, and then people in the group can answer the questions and support them and make them feel better or give them some kind of solution. Hey, Reed Chalmer, how does Qi Coil work? Okay, Demetria says, I want one now. What do you want? Want one of the new Qi Coils? How does the Qi Coil work? So, pretty basic question. So this is Qi Coil. It connects to a power source, and then the power source connects to the app. So the app is like this. It has over 900 frequencies, and as you can see, the basic ones are like with charge, sleep, attract, de-stress, regenerates, focus, enlighten, meditates, calm, open, abundance. So they pretty self-explanatory what those do. Okay, so these are specific frequencies that we tested and proven to help you achieve these states of mind, will help you to achieve these wellness states. So you'll feel more energy, feel recharged, you'll sleep better, and so on. And how it works is it uses both sound from the app and also magnetic energy. So this turns the sound into magnetic energy. That's why we call it the Qi, right? It's magnetic energy, Qi coil. And when you hold this anywhere, it has a field, a magnetic field, and it can cover and energize your whole body at the same time. And it's portable. You can use it anywhere. And lots of people on this place are already using it for months or even up to a year or more. And it's really transformative. It healed me personally, and highly recommend it. So look it up. We have a sale on the Qi Coil 2s. So one of the last sets that we have until those are discontinued. So make sure you get it. Does that answer your question? Hey, Giobe. Hey, Kirk. I missed that. How do you dissolve verbal concentrations with wife to turn a negative situation into a positive one? It's hard. Let me think. So it's a negative situation into a positive one. Well, every negative situation is basically revealing either there's some kind of gap of communication, or there's some kind of gap in expectation between the two people. So one way of seeing it is just first, like the question I asked is who is responsible. First of all, ask that. Then what is working, what is not working, and what to do differently. So if you ask those questions during that situation, your wife has a negative situation. Start asking those questions to yourself or to her if she's ready for that, and then it may help you to find out what to differently, how to improve whatever situation you are. So and it helps you to help you understand like what is the gap. There must be some kind of gap between, first of all, like I said, the expectations of each other or some kind of communication. So communication is so important in a relationship. If you don't communicate properly, you don't actually understand each other, if you're not listening to each other, then it's going to be very difficult. But when you start to learn how to communicate, then these negative situations will start to turn more positive, because then you can look back and say, okay, I understand why this is happening now is because there was this gap that I needed to fill. Hey, Zomisa, I hope that helps. I'm not a relationship expert, but I'm just telling you from just what my experience is. And a lot of times, from my experience, if they're just very mad and very negative, a lot of times they're just stressed out and they just need to kind of vent out. Okay, so one other thing that you can be aware of is you ask, okay, is she venting, or is she actually, is there actually something that is really needs something to be, or she needs something to change? It's two kind of things, right? When somebody vents, they're just letting off steam, and they know that they can't really change anything about it. They're just stressed out. They just want to let off steam. They may say a lot of negative things, versus somebody who is actually has something that they really can be changed and wants to change. So see if you can identify whether it's venting or not, and maybe it can help you be more aware of this situation, and so you know how to deal with it differently. Okay, if it's venting, how to deal with it is just to let them vent and just be patient and just agree and just try to be supportive, right? Knowing that whatever negative thing she's saying towards you is not really attacking you, she's just venting. That can help you to deal with it better. Okay, but if it's a real problem that needs to be dealt with, and let them vent about that first, but then afterwards, when they're ready, then you can talk about what to actually do differently, right? So just help you to kind of see the difference and react or deal with it differently. Hope that helps you. Zomiso, good morning, Master. I'm first here to learn to your live stream. Shout out, Master. Hey, Zozimo Paraiso. Is that how you pronounce your name? Hey, Demichi, you want a Staff of Legends? Okay. Let's make a goal to get you one of our Staff of Legends. Yeah, I want you to have one too. It's amazing. Okay. So that's all I have time for today. And Justin has one. Yeah. So thanks for coming, and hope to see you and talk to you on all the channels that I have, right? Send me a message on Instagram. Send me a message on Facebook. We have the Facebook group. It's called Qi Life Masters. So make sure you join that. It's a private group. So request to join, and then we're going to add you in. And then we probably start posting some questions that people have. And then it'd be great if you have a Qi Coil, you have experience, or you don't have a Qi Coil, you just have something to share. You just have some way of supporting the group. Then that'll be really helpful for you to support people on there. All right. Okay, so until next time, make sure you go to backqicoil.com and grab your Qi Coil 2 while we still have stock before they are sold out, and then we won't have any more. Okay, so it's 20% off. That's probably the biggest discount you're gonna get on it ever. Okay, so until next time, thanks for coming. Use the Qi and prosper.